Coaching started for me right out of high school. A year after high school, I decided I wanted to get into coaching. I kind of missed the game after playing in high school for 3 years, and then I decided to start coaching. And once I did that, I went to a middle school, and it was Hamilton Elementary School over on Clinton and Palm in Fresno, California. And there, the first year we had 6 guys that were probably football players, and they played. And what we wanted to do with them was at least to kind of set the foundation for a program there. I think we went about 1-18 that year, and from there, we just decided we're gonna take this thing up another level. So I stayed there for 4 years. By the time I left, we were 19-4. We got a chance to play in a championship game. One of my good friends, CJ Haydock, over at another school, got to play against him, and it was good. During that time, I started to once I completed my bachelor's degree at Fresno State, I kind of wanted to kind of have my hand in college coaching, and had an opportunity to be a grad assistant with Fresno State women's basketball, and that was in 2010. I'm sorry, 2007. That was in 2007. And during that time, I got to meet our assistant, who's here now, Jaleesa Ross. She was actually a freshman coming in at that time, and it's kind of where we started our bond at that time. But from there, I think really learned kind of what it takes to be a winner. I think they did a good job. We won championships during that time, had some NCAA appearances, and really kind of got a hold of the work ethic that it takes to really be successful. I mean, one of the things that I believe in is that your status is never too great to do the little things, and that's something that I hold on to, and I try to disseminate that to everyone around me, disseminate that to the program we have now. So that's something that we really want to make sure is just present every single day. And then from there, I had an opportunity to volunteer at Fresno Pacific, and I volunteered there for 4 years. And then for the last 2 years, finally opened up a full-time position, and I was able to do that. And then this summer, had an opportunity to come to Dominguez Hills, and that's where I am now. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's completely brand new, right? Because coaches are new, players are new. I think we have one player returning with Amari, and she's an all-conference player, and she's awesome. She's been key to try to help kind of reiterate what that championship culture should be within a program. And I think the important part is sort of establishing our culture. Who we want to be every single day on and off the court is something that helps to kind of build your program. Because I think you have to set a foundation on the work ethic that you hope to have throughout the years. And then after that, of course, you go out and you recruit, and you make sure you're bringing in the talent that's needed, and all the necessary players that you want. But I think the biggest thing right now for us is to try to build a cohesive unit that sort of is able to display some of the traits that winners have. One of the biggest things for us is to always display like a culture of graciousness. We always want to be thankful for each and every person that we kind of come in contact with. We want to leave areas better than they were when we got there. But along with that, we want to make sure that we're always competing, always tough, always having a mindset that, hey, at the end of the day, our opponents, we put our shoes on the same way they do. We put our pants on the same way they do. So we're going to go out and we're going to compete every single day. And I think when you're talking about rebuilding the program, the good thing is that there's not a long period of time where there's been no success. So I think it's kind of easy. I think this year is going to be a little bit of a challenge for us, because I think it's just so brand new that everyone hasn't played Division II college basketball, so they don't know what that's all about. One player on our team out of the 11 that we have right now has had significant experience playing at the highest level of Division II basketball. So we're going to learn a lot about ourselves in the beginning. We'll learn that when we go to Hawaii, and throughout our preseason schedule, we're going to learn to play some of the tougher teams. And I think those are going to be the key times for us to kind of develop who we're going to be as a team, what our identity is going to be about. And that'll sort of set the stage for how we want to build in the future. You know what? At the end of the day, for coaches, it's going to be the style that's going to help you win that game, right? So as much as I may want to be, I'm definitely more into an up-tempo style. I believe in sort of putting pressure on our opponents. We sort of like to push the ball up. We kind of like to get a little bit more exciting style of play. But if it calls for, we have, we'll slow it down. We like to utilize a lot of different ball screens. We like to try to create a lot of isolation and sort of take advantage of players where we feel like we may have an advantage. We sort of like to kind of expose that as much as possible on the court. Another thing for us, though, we sort of like to set the tone defensively. That's one of the key parts. I always feel like one of the things I tell our players all the time is control the controllables. Take care of the things that you can control. And shots not going to always fall. Calls aren't always going to go our way, but the things that we control is our defense and our rebounding. So what you should be able to see from that is their commitment on those two ends. So you always see a team that's going to be tough and competing, but we're going to rebound well, and we're going to guard, and we're going to try to make our opponents feel as uncomfortable as possible, and we're going to do that on both ends of the floor. But, of course, I always like a little bit of showy style on the offensive end.